My breath away. I can be your hero, baby. I can kiss away the pain, and I'll stand by you forever. You can't take my breath away. Take my breath away.
What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and you have just heard me singing. Honestly, I didn't think John was going to put one out. John can sing, and you're going to see that tonight, hopefully. We're going to get him recorded, and John can sing. I can't. So John, when he went up there, stuck my name down on the sheet, and I did not expect to go up there and blast out Hero by Enrique Iglesias, otherwise known as Mikel Iglesias. but we give it a go. Some breaking news. Christopher Sarofim, I think is how you pronounce his name, has joined Everton, whether it's as an investor, whether it's as a board member, but either way, the freaking group seem to be quite happy about this. And also, you know, journalists like Fraser Fletcher, are quite, this seems positive from Everton.
Well, Fraser Fletcher's tweet on X was Everton's board is looking serious. Now, we've wanted this for a long time. We've wanted this. We've needed a whole new setup, a whole new board, but more importantly for me, it's people who know what they're doing. And obviously the freaking group have gone out there and they've looked for the right people to join the board and to probably, again, we're saying it again, push Everton onto the next level. But, you know, we've got the fella from Leeds coming in, Angus Kinnear, as a technical director. This Christopher Sarofim is going to work very closely with Chris Watt, is it name?
I think so, yeah.
Someone like that. So he's putting the right people in place, you know, and whether, as you say, whether he's an investor or whether he's just going to come in and be the eyes on the board, and from all accounts, he's going to be in charge of the sponsorship deals. Now, we all know Everton's next sponsorship deal is massive.
Yeah.
Whether it be a shirt sponsor, which we need. Obviously, we need name and rights for the stadium. So he's going to come in and hopefully he's going to get the right deal for Everton Football Club to see us be able to spend more money, because that's what it's all about. It's bringing the right people in to get the best deals for us to make the club more financially stable.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to adjust John's mic because it's literally hanging off his nipples.
Oh, brilliant.
So we'll get that adjusted. All right, there we go.
I mean,
there we go. We've done that.
you don't get this on ITV, do you?
Oh, mate. No, look, I think all these moves are positive, and fucking hell, someone's just been shot. Jesus, what's going on down there? It's empty together. Jesus. Yeah, I think it's all positive from Everton's perspective. You know, all of these things moving us in the right direction. And look, I'm so excited about next season. I keep saying this. I almost wish the season would end, but you know, we haven't got loads of games at Goodison left. I sort of want to jump to the last game of the season, have that memory and that fantastic day, and see out the old lady for the amazing venue that she's been to English football for years and years and years. But then I want to concentrate on next season. And you know, we keep talking about transfers, we keep talking about links. You know, we've been linked with Thomas Souček again today, who apparently has also been linked with Leeds. There's been some Leeds fans saying that, you know, I mean, we don't like to say, but that they don't want Jack Harrison back. So where does he end up?
Oh.
Does he end up at Everton? Moyes seems to like him. I mean, the fans. I mean, let's be fair, we're not keen on the idea, but you know, we're not the manager at the end of the day, and that's always a problem. But just this guy, this Sarofim, you know, if his family's worth 23 billion, you know, he's clearly got something about him. He knows what he's doing. You know, his family know what he's doing. The freaking group are clearly keen on his knowledge and intuition. So I'm happy with these appointments. We've been linked with more people from Leeds again today. I can't remember the guy's name, but what I will say is I don't think we should overkill this with Leeds appointments, because I think they did a lot of things wrong.
Yeah, they did. But I think, as I said to you earlier on when we were having a conversation, it's obvious the freaking group know what they're doing. You don't get as much money as what they've got if you're shit at your job. And obviously this new fella who's coming in, they've seen what he can do as well. I think he's a minor stakeholder in one of the NFL teams as well. So I think predominantly him coming in is to sort the sponsorship deals out. But what I like about this freaking group now, what they're doing, they seem to be bringing people in for each department and let them concentrate on what their job title is.
Yeah.
You know, and then they can all collaborate and work together. And you mentioned before, you wish we could just fast forward now to the last game of the season. I think this summer, moving into Bramley Moor, with these new people coming into the club, I think this is going to be one of the biggest summers Everton Football Club have ever had. I think next season going forward, I just think it's exciting. You know, I know you're very excited about next season and talking about challenging for Europe. He's bringing the right people in to take us to that next level. And listen, I'd love us to challenge for Europe next season. Are we getting a bit too ahead of ourselves? Possibly. But Forest have done it. Why can't Everton?
Honestly, I think with the right investment, it's more than possible. I mean, you look at teams like Forest. You're absolutely right. They spent £3 million on Hudson-Odoi and £15 million on Elanga.
Yeah,
they got themselves pace. They got themselves a style of football, and they got themselves a way out. Now, I'm not being funny. We've got a better back four than Forest.
Yeah,
and I do like their goalkeeper. I must say, I like their goalkeeper, but I do think Pickford's a better goalkeeper. So it is literally just a case of sorting that transition and that attack. And if Everton can sort it, then why can't we challenge? And this is the thing. We've already actually got good players in those departments. We've got players like Ndai. I'm not completely against McNeil. I think McNeil's a decent footballer. I just think he lacks pace.
Yeah.
But he's certainly not someone that I would be, oh my God, he's coming off the bench. I wouldn't have an issue with it.
I think there's more players at the club where when we see them getting brought on as a sub, or if we see them in the starting 11, McNeil's not one of them.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And listen, Dwight McNeil's got pace, and we've seen it lacks pace. Sorry, he's got skill. You know, he can pick a pass. We've seen him when he played in the number 10 a couple of games. He was great in the middle.
Yeah.
And then Dye was on the left. Going forward, I don't think that's what Everton should be looking to do. But as you quite right with what you say, defensively and goalkeeper, them areas are okay.
We just need cover.
Well, we need cover for right back. We need cover for left back.
And the centre half.
Well, yeah, because we're losing two, aren't we?
Yeah.
But I think this Everton team lacks pace and it lacks quality up front. Now, if we can bring the sort of players in who are better than what we've got, and you add that with the defence that we've got and the goalkeeper we've got, why can't we do what Notts Forest have done? Because, you know, as you quite rightly pointed out there, two players, Elanga and Hudson-Odoi, them two players, and obviously Chris Wood as well, it's transformed Notts Forest.
It has, because it allows them to press up the pitch.
Yeah.
When it almost stops them being that press, the press resistance. So what happens is they hit people on the counter. And we can do it to a degree, but we haven't got the same level of pace that they've got.
When you've got pace in your team, and you probably agree with this, when you've got pace in your team, it also takes pressure off your back four.
Of course it does, yeah. You press higher up the pitch.
You press higher up the pitch, which takes pressure off the back four, but you also put the opposition under pressure then, because you can get in behind them. If we need creativity in the team, apart from Ndai, we haven't really got much. Dwight McNeil can do it every now and again, but there's no pace and there's not enough up front for me. So if we can sort that cover out for the two full-back positions and the centre half and get a bit of pace in the team and a better centre forward, I think we can go to the next level.
I think it also means as well, you know, with these appointments on the board, it also demonstrates that Everton is in a position where investors or backers, or certainly from America's perspective, from a marketing perspective, they're trying to make Everton this.
Well, they want to be involved, don't they?
They do, and there is an argument, a counter argument to that. You know, we don't want to be too commercialised like Spurs, you know, i.e. NFL franchise and all that, but we do need to generate lots of revenue to go forward. And we need to be able to spend money in the right areas and do the right things. We need to be almost the opposite of Spurs, but generate as much money as Spurs.
See, I'm not too fussed about how commercialised Everton become, because football's a business now. Now, if being commercialised to a certain degree, but it takes you to that next level, the next step with bringing the right people in. I think you ask a lot of Everton fans, mate, and I don't think they'd be too fussed.
No.
Because football's a business, mate. We all know that. And listen, I don't give a shit how commercialised Everton are, as long as the club's run properly. We're not put in a position that we've been in under Moyes. It's better football to watch. The squad's better, and we're not fighting relegation. You know, we've up until David Moyes coming in, that was 3 years on the bounce where us as Everton fans were shitting ourselves about going down. You know, David Moyes has come in, completely turned it round. Whatever's going on upstairs, for me, is positive. Let them generate what they're doing onto the pitch and help Moyes out and bring the quality that we need in, as I keep saying, to take us to the next level. And I keep saying taking us to the next level because we've had that much shit over the last 2 or 3 years. We don't want that anymore.
Yeah. And I think, you know, we are now mathematically safe. And that's what David Moyes has been waiting for. So, you know, going to the new stadium, getting used to his surroundings, the players getting used to their surrounding, all of those things, I think they are positive things moving forward. And, you know, these people being involved in our club, as I say, David Moyes has still got 2 years at Everton on his contract. Yeah. And he will not want to leave Everton in the same position he brought them in. You know, that's what he talks about. He talks about progress. He talks about the first step was keeping Everton up. He's done it. He actually said he found it a little bit easier than he was expecting. He thought it was going to be tougher. Yeah. So he's come into an Everton team that surprised him. Yeah. Now imagine how exciting it could be.
With his own players.
With his own players. Yeah. You know, and you've got to trust David because he's done it before. He's done it before. He's done it before. The only thing that was missing was silverware. And to be honest, that wasn't. I don't even think that was his fault. I think that was the fact that he couldn't bring in the top players that he wanted at the time because we didn't have the pockets to do it. Yeah. He got an Everton team to 5th consistently, 6th, and the Champions League spot 1 year in 4th. I mean, that season, and this is what people forget, that season, David Moyes did a Forest. We went from 17th the season before, being relegation favourites that season, to finishing 4th. Now, don't get me wrong, it went to shit. I mean, it went to shit. Yeah. But we did that.
I used to say he can't do it again, and I think with the comments he comes out, you know, he doesn't want... He thought he was coming into a team where he thought we were going to struggle to stay up, and as you say, it surprised him. He's had the sniff and he's had the taste of what he done first time round at Everton. And I think with the comments he's coming out with, he's just sort of echoing what his first stint was like.
And the other thing, some people will see this as a negative rather than a positive, but I'll explain my point. You know, me and you were talking earlier when we were talking about the succession plan of David Moyes, and we were both mentioned Ariola, for example, at Bournemouth, and he would be a good manager, blah, 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 blah. But the facts are we're in steady hands. We've got an experienced Premier League manager. Yeah. We seem to have an experienced board. We've experienced businessmen. There's nobody in that board or in that arena that is either one, completely absorbed by Everton, which God rest his soul, obviously, but Bill Kenwright was completely invested in Everton. He didn't know anything other than Everton, so he didn't know any other business and what right and wrong looked like. He just knew Everton. Which, you know, pros and cons, fair enough. We all know what they were, so I won't dig him out for that. You've got Moyes, who was a minority shareholder at Arsenal, less than 10%. You give him the keys to a football club, and let's be honest,
didn't know what he was doing.
He didn't know what he was doing, and I got blasted for it, but I called it out really early. 18 months in, I said he didn't know what he was doing. 18 months in, the only thing he bought in was a stadium, and credit to him for that, but he almost killed us doing it. Yeah. These guys seem to be a bit more methodical, a bit more analytical. They know what they're doing. The only thing that concerns me is what's gone on at Roma. Because they've gone through managers, they've gone through these different concepts, they've gone through... I mean, it's only Ranieri that's turned Roma around this season. And that's because he's a fan favourite. Ranieri to Roma is almost like Moyes at Everton. So that's my only concern. And maybe they've looked at that model with Ranieri and Roma and gone, that might have been what we needed at Everton, and that's what they're trying to build. So I'm hoping my point is, I'm hoping they've learned the lessons
from Roma.
Yeah.
Do you think I don't think I've ever asked you this. Do you think Everton will be more of a concern for them than Roma? Do you think Everton will be their baby?
Yeah.
Because it's the Premier League.
Yeah. Everton. This is absolutely no slight on Roma, who, by the way, as an Italian club, I always really liked Roma. You know, the Totti days and some of the players that they've had over time. I've always quite liked Roma. But the one thing I would say about Everton is I think Everton are... I was reading comments earlier from people on Twitter, and they were saying they don't see Tottenham as the sixth in the top six. They see Everton as the sixth club. You know, and there's Villa in there, obviously, and Newcastle. But Everton, I'm not saying Everton are bigger than any other football team. I'm not one of these that go, we're bigger than you, we're bigger than you. But the one thing I would say is Everton are a well-known institution in English football. We've played more games than any other team in English football. That is a fact. You can go and Google. It's almost 5,000 games, if I'm not mistaken. It might even be more. Right? So by getting Everton, they've got a historic... they've got a huge club. We are a huge club. And all they need to do is stop us being where we are in the doldrums and challenging again.
Do you know what the words I want to use for that, right? We all know Everton have had success in the past, and that's why Everton are known. Yeah, we haven't had it like other clubs who we don't like to mention. But Everton now is a sleeping giant.
Yeah.
Everton Football Club has become a sleeping giant because we had that success. And then all of a sudden, it stopped. Whether it was down to managers, whether it was down to people who own the club. These people have come in now. And with the acquisitions they're making on the board, you know, and they're going to put money into it. I think the Freaking Group are looking at Everton, thinking to themselves, we want to wake this giant up.
And there is certain clubs that fit into that narrative, isn't there? Yeah. You know, Aston Villa, for example, I would argue that they are a sleeping giant and they look like they're starting to wake up. Yeah. You know, I would say
Forest have been fun.
Forest are very much...
Forest have won 2 Champions League, is it, or something like that.
And they had the Brian Clough era, you know, he taught us everything. Yeah. You know, Everton, for example, we are a sleeping giant. We've won 9 league titles, European Cups, FA Cups, with a team that I think have gone to most semi-finals in the FA Cup. All of these big stats with Everton. You know, there's certain clubs that believe they're massive, but I don't think they've got the same pedigree as Everton. You know, no disrespect, but I don't think Tottenham and Newcastle, I don't think they're there. I don't think they're on the level of those 3 teams.
No, I'm not being funny. If you look at the stats of what Everton have won compared to them, they don't touch Everton.
No, they don't.
They don't touch Everton. This is the thing.
But we didn't get the investment like those 2 teams, and the reason was we wasn't attractive, we wasn't commercially viable, whatever the reason was. Whereas now the Freaking Groups are trying to go, right, Everton, you're different now. Yeah. You're not that plucky Everton that had lost its big club status from the 80s and struggled in the late 90s and then sort of was reborn slightly in the mid 2000s and then had a rough 2010s and then 2020s has been a shit show. You know, it's not that. It is Everton Football Club are back, and the people that they're bringing into this club, in my opinion, are the ones that show that Everton made business. A big board, big directors, no one necessarily football related.
But there's no jobs for the boys anymore.
It's proper people.
Yeah. Proper. It's going to be run like a business. It's going to be run like a proper football club. Yeah. And, you know, these have come into Everton and they've known, obviously they've done their own work and the situation that Everton have been in. And these want to come in, and I've said this to you, I haven't said it on here, but you know the Freaking Group, with how they want Everton to run, do you know if they don't succeed, then no one will. No one. Do you know what? It sounds really bad, and I'll probably get shot down in the comments for this. It's like the last chance saloon for Everton Football Club with these people coming in now, because they're bringing the right people in to run the football club properly. We've got a brand new stadium on the horizon. If these don't succeed in trying to put Everton back on the map and waken that sleeping giant, then I don't know who will.
No. But while it's happening, we ride that wave.
We ride that wave.
We get excited.
Yeah, man, we wake that giant.
Drinking. We keep Well, I haven't drank Coke. I'm telling you now, last night was absolutely horrendous.
Oh,
my God,
we nearly got locked up.
honestly.
And his truncheon was going where the sun was.
Oh dear. We had a great night though.
Yeah.
It was a proper hair down night though, weren't it?
Magaluf opened my eyes. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't as busy for the time of year, but I expected it to be extortionate prices, and every bar that we went into, we sort of badgered the people who were pulling us in out the street, and they were offering us 2 shots, but no, we had got 3, and it wasn't even watered. It was black sambuca. It was
world famous Blue Boys Network you used at one point. World famous. That's what you.
Did I? You remember?
When you went. We're on YouTube. We are massive. It's brilliant. So anyway, look, guys, thank you for your love and support as always. You will have seen a short of me singing. I'm so sorry for your ears. Like, it was him. He went up and sang a song, and I thought, there's no way he would have done that to me. Oh yeah, he did. He put my name down.
He actually said to me today he was shitting himself because he had to follow me. And I don't think I'm that good.
Oh, mate, it was horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. He had everyone up, clapping, Sweet Caroline, all of this, and there's me singing him. It's a show, that's it.
Yeah.
And there's one bit in the video, if you watched it, I don't think it's on the short. There's one bit in the actual video where I'm completely out of tune and the baby starts crying, isn't there?
He hit the high note, and then Michael stopped singing, and you hear the baby crying.
Brilliant. Oh, God. But, we've had a lovely time. It's nice to have a bit of a break, if I'm being honest. We both work hard in our jobs, and, we try to do YouTube on the side, so it's lovely to spend some time. And, look, I wanted to mention this because a lot of people have they've spoke about some of their emotions, and we've had some lovely emails for various people, and other YouTube channels and people have commented about the relationship that we have, which is clearly strong. But me and John didn't know each other 6-7 years ago. We didn't know each other.
Spoke about this today, didn't we?
And when
now 4 of us are live and all on holiday together.
Yeah, and that just shows that for anyone that's feeling a bit down, maybe a bit lonely, you're not alone. I used to go to the game. I'd travel 110 miles. I'd speak to no one. I'd interact with no one. And that was why the channel was created, so I could have someone that, I could speak to. I could get into the comments. I could have a laugh and a joke, and everything I ever wanted to achieve from the channel, I've got. I've got a best friend. I've got a group of people that will always support you. It feels like you support me, and you're always there for me, and it's everything I've ever wanted. So the point I want to make is it can happen for you. If you guys are struggling, or if you're feeling alone, reach out to your friends, your family, even just random strangers, because that random stranger could end up being your best mate 7 years later.
Yeah. And
you have to drag him out of a taxi.
And you know what? It's funny because in that 6-7 years, Michael's struggled at certain points, and he always thanks me for that because, I give you advice, didn't I? And only for the advice I'll probably give him. You're probably still hanging it over your head now without going into too much detail.
Oh, yeah.
I've struggled more recently than Michael with health anxiety and worrying about stuff.
Bits and bobs.
Yeah, so, we've been there for each other. 6 or 7 years down the line, we didn't know each other. Now we're best friends. I was at his wedding. My wife and his wife are here with us as a foursome.
Currently with the arms out.
Well, they get the David Gray's out. But yeah, as Michael's just said, if you're not feeling low, there's always someone there for you, and everyone does have struggles in lives. You get through it, and that's what we've done, and look at us now. So thanks very much for watching. Don't forget, hit that like, the subscribe button. Probably won't be any more videos from me while I'm here, because me and Lisa go home tomorrow. Michael's still staying on a bit longer. But once Michael's home, we will get the videos back out for you. So thanks very much for your comments as well. From the video that we done the other day when we were here. Some lovely comments from some lovely people. And also, I also want to add, when we spoke about Andy the other day, some of the comments regarding Andy, and
And across the park as well.
Across the
Did a
park,
good video, yeah.
Judgy actually done a video, didn't he?
Yeah,
Mentioned
good video.
this, and, we've got a lot of time for Millsy and Judgy, but some of the comments from you people aimed at Andy.
And the support, the love.
Yeah, you know, and I tell you what, there must have been, say there was 100 comments, I'd say 80 of them mentioned Andy.
Yeah.
You know, and I hope Andy reads them, and I hope you're watching us today, Andy, because you've got the love that you've got from me and Millsy last week, not just from us and Michael, but everyone who subscribes to our channel. So again, hope you've got the help you need. We will bump into you soon, but yes, we're going to leave it there, aren't we?
Yeah.
Thanks very much for watching. Like, subscribe, and we will be back soon.
Peace out, people.